This kid talks, he runs his mouth like I could be a starting quarterback with his arms crossed like this. Get your ass in the front row and study and do all that. If I know, the whole league knows. Quit being an embarrassment that way. You got the talent to be the quarterback. You should be. You should be embarrassed that you're not the quarterback now.
I think it is a crucial message that needs to be said right now. Here's the thing. Call it whatever you want. Sanitized racism. Call it rebranded racism. But as a white male, let me just speak to any other white males that are listening or white people that are listening in general. We're not fooling anyone, and we're not fooling ourselves. And I know, because I was raised and conditioned to see the world a particular way, I know what my ears are hearing. And you can place all the context you want around it. Call it whatever you want. Sanitized racism. Call it rebranded racism. But as a white male, let me just speak to any other white males that are listening or white people that are listening in general. We're not fooling anyone, and we're not fooling ourselves.
And what's been amazing is to watch people say, even some black folks say, oh, they said these things about him, and I went back and I listened to what he actually said, and it's been taken out of context, and you didn't understand the nuance, and so you was just, the people, y'all are pushing this sort of stuff, and I'm sitting there going, do you act like we don't have ears, and we don't have eyes, and we did not hear exactly what we heard?
We're not fooling anyone, and we're not fooling ourselves. And I know, because I was raised and conditioned to see the world a particular way, I know what my ears are hearing, and you can place all the context you want around it, and in the context, it doesn't change. And until we can come to a place where we acknowledge that rebranded, sanitized, polite racism is still racism.
This kid talks, he runs his mouth like I could be a starting quarterback with his arms crossed like this. Get your ass in the front row and study and do all that. If I know, the whole league knows. Quit being an embarrassment that way. You got the talent to be the quarterback. You should be. You should be embarrassed that you're not the quarterback now. Why is Sheduer not in there? Well, I don't know. Are you sitting in the back of the meeting rooms with scout team receivers? I think you are. Get your butt in the front, you probably would be starting, but this guy can't play.
And the great Franciscan priest Richard Rohr says it like this. He says, you cannot heal what you do not acknowledge. And this is why it's so imperative when I see things like this administration and Trump and MAGA pushing to remove images of slavery from museums. We're regressing. We're moving backwards.
A reporter from WRC-TV was asking questions about Martin Luther King's birthday and the progress blacks have made in society. There, CBS sports commentator Jimmy the Greek Snyder gave his impressions of blacks in coaching in the National Football League. His answers could raise as much controversy as the statements by former Dodgers executive Al Campanis last April on ABC's Nightline news program.
Yeah, pretty soon they're going to have to equalize it for the blacks, for the Greeks, the Jews, and for everybody. I mean, let's make it equal for everybody, you know.
And is it equal? What about in sports?
Well, they've got everything. If they take over coaching like everybody wants them to, there's not going to be anything left for the white people. I mean, all the players are black. I mean, the only thing that the whites control is the coaching jobs. Now, I'm not being derogatory about it, but that's all that's left for them. The black talent is beautiful. It's great. It's out there. So the only thing left for the whites is a couple coaching jobs.
Yeah, maybe we need to get more black coaches, don't we?
Oh, it's all right with me. Okay, well, I'm sure that they'll take over that pretty soon, too.
And he knows what he's doing. This administration knows what they're doing. And I'm learning more and more that what this is underneath, what it is white supremacy. And a part of the reason, perhaps, many of these leaders, these white male leaders, part of the reason many of them are kicking and screaming and putting out the dog whistles, and I'm getting them, God knows the people of color are getting them, part of the reason I believe that's happening is because they are so terrified of one word, equality. Equality.
Yep.
And what is equality to us
yep.
feels like oppression to them. Getting up, having a show, singing our songs, and then walking out the door and being more racist than anyone you could ever imagine, and then convincing ourselves or trying to pretend that we aren't racist, when, to your credit, what you just said, I agree with you. I think most do know. And if I'm honest with you, I wish I could tell you that wasn't true, because it does break my heart. It breaks my heart, because I'll tell you why. Because it's people that raised me. And it's hard to see it, because what it does is it begins to open even your own understandings. And this is why you hear right now in the evangelical movement people talking about deconstruction. And a part of the reason that word is so critical is because the moment you start seeing, as the former person said, the merging that has been around forever of white supremacy and Christianity, the moment you begin to study that history, all of a sudden the foundations that you were raised on begin to crumble. I don't know about you all, but I am so tired. Let's move and begin to expose what we're seeing here. And then lastly, I would just say, I do still believe at the local level change makes a difference. Sometimes you need to disturb the family text feed. Sometimes there needs to be some conflict. And everybody, seems to be uncomfortable around conflict. But one of the things I've learned is conflict sometimes is the doorway. It is the path that can actually lead us to greater transformation.